Today in this video, let's see the conditional statements as part of data analysis using Python topic 8. So in Python, similar to any other programming language, we have a conditional statements based on a certain conditions. We can control the flow of the program execution. So if you take Java, if you take C, C++, all the languages are having their own control statements and the syntax for each control statements. So we can call it as a control statements or conditional statements. So mostly they will be called as a conditional statements. So here they actually control the flow of the execution of the program based on certain conditions, whether it may be based on specifically a Boolean condition, whether it is a true or false. So in this video, let's see in Python what are the different ways of controlling these conditional statements and how these conditional statements can be used to define certain criteria and how it controls the flow of execution of the program. So let us start with a simple example. As you can see, we have defined the two variables. So one variable x is allocated to 10 and another variable y is allocated to 100. So this is a way of allocation in Python. If you're using Java or C, it might look a little different or little weird for you. But this is easiest or most convenient way that Python provides for particular assignment. It basically follows the order. That means x is equals to 10 and y equals to 100. If I want to define one more variable like z, so then I can give something like this, right? So I don't want to have the z here. I just want to have x and y. So whenever there is a x and y, and these are the variables and the values are allocated to them, and there is a control statement. If is one of the control statement in Python, and this is a syntax like after if there is a condition followed. So this condition can turn up into a Boolean value, that true or false. So based on that, whether it is true or false, if it is true, then whatever inside this semicolon. So in other programming languages, we have seen it is like a curly braces or some other syntax. But here it starts with a semicolon and ends with the control will end after it come out of this line. If you see like after semicolon, there is a wide indentation here. That means it is inside this if condition. And after that, if you see the print is outside if condition, right? That means it is out of this condition. So here what we are trying to achieve is we are just checking the value and allocating the this string to this variable again. And after that, we are coming out of this if condition. If you see whatever inside this control, if I'm writing something here, it is still inside the if condition, right? But print is outside the if condition. That means outside that indentation basically. So that's why we call it as outside the if outside the condition. So now I go outside the if condition. I'm trying to print the result. So I'll just try to print the result variable, right? So then what we can see is it is printing y is greater than x because y is actually greater than x. So now let me increase the value of x here to the 1000. Then I'll try to execute this. This is quite surprising, right? So actually the problem with Python is it will store the value in a cache. So whenever it is storing the value in cache, this is what happens. Like what we can do is I'll just allocate some xx and yy value here, right? And I'll just add everywhere one extra thing so that it'll basically. So the Python is already having this value in a cache. So the result is already cached. So that's why it is just printing that value because it is not getting reset, right? So whenever I'm increasing this value, again it is not going to this result and resetting this value. So that's why it is printing the same value which was previously allocated. So we need to take care of this cached value. So to overcome that, I'm just giving the different value here. So as you can see here, so it says is not defined because the control didn't go inside this particular particular flow of execution, right? So now let me just so I'm having just a simple else statement here. So here I'll just give the same variable but I'm just swapping the value here, right? So now if I'm trying to print it, oh, I'm missing a semicolon as I was specifying. So every control statement or a conditional statement will start with a semicolon and will have a proper indentation. So now as you can see, it is properly telling x is greater than y. So we are actually handling this error by giving the else condition here. But let us see one more thing here. Like I'll make y also 2000. So what is expected result? Let us see what Python says. So it says x greater than y, which is actually not true, right? X is actually not greater than y in this case, right? Both are equal values. So to fix this issue, let's make a small change in our program with using elif. So elif is very similar to what we use in other programming languages with else if or else if and we give a condition there. So it's very similar to that, and here in short form it is called as a elif. So here I'll assign a variable and I'll make it x and y are same or x and y are equal, so we can give anything. So now it is giving the proper result saying that x and y are same. Basically, as you can observe here, the syntax is like this. So it is a if condition and there is a elif condition. So whenever you're giving elif, you should specify a condition, but whenever you're giving else, it is a default condition. That means when all the conditions are not satisfied, so this will be executed. So similarly, this elifs, right? So we can have a number of elifs, but there will be only one if and there will be only one else. But elifs can be any number of. So the same the conditional statements. Let's try to write in a different way. So as I was mentioning, Python is a very developer friendly. Or once you learn how to write the how to code in Python, there are like a number of ways which makes a developer life easy and very convenient. So let us see how we can do that. So as you can see in this cell, in this particular cell, as usual, we have defined a variable, but so this is a statement which is actually substitute of this statement. I mean, except the equals condition. So this is actually substitute of the statement if and else. So I know like if you're not a Python developer, so it looks little clumsy, but once you understand it, so it will be very easy. So actually this we call it as a one-liner code in Python. So Python usually gives us the flexibility or the convenience to write a code in a one line. Such conditions, right? Such complex conditions can be written in a single line, as you can see here. So how to evaluate this or how to read this? So we can start with the condition itself. So which is the first condition? So this is the first condition. So always you should read the condition first, like if y greater than x, then go to the left of it. So usually you should go to the left. So whenever there is a one liner, it is always you should go from right to left. So you are reading this condition. After reading the condition, you go to the left, and this is your result. And so you have the else condition. After else, whatever you have, so that will be red. So it is very similar to if you remove this. So this both the statements are same. This statement and this statement are both are the same. But once you understand this, this is actually more simpler than this condition what we are actually seeing, right? So let's execute and see. So it is giving the expected result. So now let us see one more option as part of this control statement. So which is match statement in Python. So it is very similar to what switch condition we talk in Java, C, C++ languages. So if you're defining a city as NYC and the match, what you're trying to match is with this keyword or basically a variable. And if the city matches with this particular values, this particular case values, so then the particular result will be executed or particular command statement will be executed. And once you print the result, so you can see the result displayed. But as there is a catch here, as you can see, I'm getting a error here. So saying that there is an invalid syntax with respect to the status. So let me see what version of Python I'm using. So this is a statement to check what version of Python I'm using. I'm using 3.9.7. But this feature is only available after 3.10. So that's the reason I'm getting an error here. Suppose if you want to use this functionality, just check what is the version you are using. If you're using 3.1 like 3.10 plus version, after that version, so then definitely you can utilize this condition match condition of Python, which is very similar to the switch condition. So this is in a way a more convenient way of using. Sometimes in some cases it is better to use this match condition rather than using if, elif, 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 and then else. So this is a convenient way of using it. As you can see, you can give the condition like case, 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 and this is a default case we can say where none of the cases are matches are found, not found. So this is a default case which executes, which is defined with a just a underscore value. So this is all about conditional statements, which is if else, and elif, basically what we call if elif else conditions. And also there is a match condition which is specifically after 3.10 version. Thanks for watching.